All right, when the coefficient of a variable in an equation is a fraction, you can use the reciprocal of the fraction to also solve the equation. So let me talk about that. First off, just to define a few things real quick. Here in this problem, we have 4/5 m equal to 28. When you have a number in front of the variable, that number is called the coefficient. So that's what they mean by this. When the coefficient of a variable in an equation is a fraction, so here the coefficient is a fraction, then you can use the reciprocal of the fraction to solve the equation. So what we can do is we can actually multiply this. This is one of our multiplicative identities, the multiplicative inverse. We can multiply this by 5/4. And if I multiply the left side by 5/4, remember we want to keep it fair, so we have to multiply the right side by 5/4. And now take a look at what happens when I multiply these two fractions together. 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 5 is 20. 20/20 is equal to 1. So see how those two fractions technically cancel each other out, and we're left with m. Or instead of, I guess I shouldn't say cancel each other out, they equal 1. So when I multiply those two fractions, they equal 1. So 1m is equal to 28 times 5/4. So 28 times 5/4 would give us 35. So m is equal to 35. So what is the solution of 12 equals 3/4 x? Well, if I wanted to use this concept, what I could do is multiply both sides by 4/3. So 4/3 times 3/4, those two, when I multiply those two fractions together, they equal 1. So I have 1x is equal to 4/3 times 12. 4/3 times 12 gives me 48. 4 times 12 is 48. 48/3. 48/3, when I simplify that, 48/3 gives me 16. So x is equal to 16. Modeling equations in word problems. In the word problems, always try to focus on trying to pick out the key pieces of information. So toucans and blue and yellow macaws are both tropical birds. The length of an average toucan is about 2/3 of the length of an average blue and yellow macaw. So the length of an average toucan is 2/3 of the length of a blue and yellow macaw. So I develop my word phrase, and then I translate my word phrase into the equation. So if I translate this into my equation, it would be the length of a toucan, we're going to call that L. The is always translates into an equal sign. 2/3 of. Of means you're going to multiply, so 2/3 of the length of a blue and yellow macaw. Let's see. So the length of a blue and yellow macaw, I'm just going to call this an M. So there's the equation that represents the length of a toucan is 2/3 of the length of a blue and yellow macaw. Now, in the next part, they tell us that the toucans are about 24 inches long. So what we can do is take the 24 and put it into our equation wherever that's supposed to go. So the 24 represents the length of a toucan. So I would put that in for the length of a toucan. And now I can solve this. So I can solve it one of two ways. I can either divide both sides by 2/3, because that would be the opposite of multiplying by 2/3. Or we can use the property we just talked about, where I multiply both sides by 3/2. So whatever you choose to do. Here they show you that to multiply both sides by 3/2, but I'm going to show you that we can instead divide both sides by 2/3. So the 2/3 cancel each other out, and I find out that the length of a macaw would be 24 divided by 2/3. 24 divided by 2/3 is 36. So an average blue and yellow macaw is 36 inches long. An online DVD rental company offers gift certificates that you can use to purchase rental plans. You have a gift certificate for $30. The plan you select costs $5 per month. So the plan that you select costs $5 per month. How many months can you purchase with this gift certificate? So if we wanted to set up an equation for this problem, we know that how many months can you purchase with this gift certificate? So we know that the total cost is $5 per month. So total cost, I'm just going to call it C. The is translates to your equal sign. $5 per month. Rates always directly translate. It's always good to try to find a rate in a word problem because they always directly translate into 5 times whatever this is. So 5 times your M, 5 times the months. Now in this particular problem, they're telling us that we have a gift certificate for $30. So our total money is 30 bucks. So the $30 would go right here. And now if I wanted to solve it, I would divide both sides by 5, and I find out that I could make it for 6 months. With a $30 gift certificate, if it's $5 per month, 5 times 6 is 30 bucks. So I could watch for 6 months in this situation. All right, so now for your problems. The problems I would like you to work on here, I want you to do 18, 19, and 20, and then jump down to 23. Excuse me, not 23. Get rid of that one. You don't need to do that one. So 18, 19, and 20, 32, 34, 37, 39, 40, 46, 47, 50 and 51, and then 53 and 70. For 70, do both parts A and part B.